Welcome, 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 everyone. And I'm so excited to be here today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Danielle Ceballos. I'm the president of 3 companies in the Kelly Roach International family. I am also the resident marketing masterclass teacher inside of the Virtual Business School. And today we are going to talk all about your messaging. If I hear one thing constantly, whether it's people that are in our coaching programs, whether it's people that are booking calls to potentially work with us in our agency, over and over and over again, I hear the message, I can't get clear on my messaging. I'm not attracting the right types of buyers. And what I used to do and what I used to say that did attract the right types of buyers is not working anymore. And this comes in a million different forms. Some of them are running ads that have stopped working or stopped bringing in the right avatar. Some of them are doing organic marketing. Some of them are launching. This shows up in a million different places, and today we're getting to the bottom of it. So if you have ever had this problem, I want you to let me know in the comments. If you're on Facebook, remember, we don't know that you're here, so say hey. We don't see your name, we don't see your beautiful faces. Number one, you can come join us over here on Zoom if you want us to be able to see and interact with you. But number two, if you're watching on Facebook, please, please, please put a hello, let us know where you are so we know that you're watching. We can come back and get you any templates that we're going to use, all of that stuff. So again, today I am going over marketing messaging, going to help you get crystal clear. And actually, there's a second part to this tomorrow. So if you don't already have 12 p.m. blocked off on your calendar tomorrow, please make sure that you do. I also have a big special announcement today and a template you're going to love, a template that's going to help you shift either avatar or message. We're going to make it so simple. So let's dive in. I'm going to try and share my screen here and let me know if you're here watching live. I want to say hey. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see this slide show. All right, when we talk about messaging, there are only 3 real problems with messaging. Everything else kind of falls under one of these 3 things. So number 1, you're solving the wrong problem. This is a little bit of truth medicine today for you guys, but I always say that great marketing can't fix a bad offer. And all it does is basically accelerate the rate at which the world figures out the offer is bad. So what often happens is honestly that there really isn't a messaging problem. There is a solution problem. You're solving problems that don't really matter. And ultimately, you could be crystal clear. Your messaging could be working great. It's just not a problem people care about. It's not a problem they would pay to solve. And at that point, it doesn't matter how clear you get. It's not going to help you, right? It's not going to solve the problem. The second reason is that there is a lack of clarity around the solution. A lot of people have what I call the burden of expertise. You are in the day-to-day of your business. You know the results you get. You understand the ins and outs of the root cause and what actually matters, but your ideal client doesn't. And so they get lost in this sort of like fuzziness because you don't have real clarity around why your solution is the best, why it is uniquely designed to solve their problem, and why they can't afford not to have it. And then the third problem is you're using language your avatar doesn't relate to. So you're talking about things that just literally like your ideal person just doesn't at all resonate with. And no matter how clear you get on those things, it's just not language that they're going to resonate with. So let's dive into these. And again, there is a part 2 tomorrow, and I have a template for the end of today's session, and it is a killer template that you're going to get to use. If you're watching on Facebook and you want us to email that to you, you do need to comment and leave your email address because we don't know you're there. If you're on Zoom, we got you already. We don't need you to do anything. We'll send you the template. But let's dive in first to the wrong problem. Now, a lot of people built their business or started their business several years ago. And in case you hadn't noticed, the world has changed just a tiny bit. The problem you used to solve might no longer be the problem people are willing to pay money for. When we were in 2020 and 2021, everybody was sitting at home and they were getting all this extra money, they were able to use that money to buy things that we would consider luxury items, things that were nice to haves, not need to haves. So if your business catered to someone that had a nice to have, not a need to have, then you're likely struggling right now. If you don't reframe the problem that you solve, if you don't understand what is newly bothering your people right now, so much so that it is urgent and they are ready to give you all their money to pay you to solve that problem, then it's time to do some shifting in your strategy. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I could make your message crystal clear, so good, and it won't matter because it's not a problem people want to pay for. So really think about what you are offering and whether or not it is still a relevant problem right now. And I have some things that I'm going to give you to do to figure that out if you're not sure. Some of you, you've been in business long enough and you realize like, okay, yeah, I've probably not been speaking the real problem. If you've got many clients that you work with, they're probably telling you what the real problem is. They're probably all the time in your groups, on your coaching calls, talking about what their real problem is. If your offer is not designed to meet that need, then you need to shift your offer. If your messaging is not directly speaking to that problem, then you need to shift your messaging. Many of you need to do both of those things. But at the end of the day, pretty great, wonderful, fabulous, clear, on the dot messaging cannot fix a problem. If you're not solving the right problem, it does not matter if you get the best copywriter on the planet. It will not matter. So we're going to have some things for you to go to figure out what the real problem is. But just think through like, okay, if I keep posting these different topics and I'm not getting any responses, and then I get on a call with someone and they're talking about this XYZ thing over here, and I can help them with that problem. I'm just not talking about that problem. I can help them with that problem in an honest way with integrity. I can solve that problem, but I'm not really talking about it. Then it's time to shift the problem you solve. Okay, so that's number one, problem. Number two, you always want to make sure that you tie this is just kind of a framework for not just your messaging, but the problems you're thinking through. There are basic fundamental human desires. And if you understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know that if somebody is homeless and hungry, they probably are not worried about hiring you to be their image consultant because it's just not what they're thinking about, right? So we kind of understand that the more luxury or the more kind of internal personal development-y your offer is, the higher up on the hierarchy of needs your people need to be. And one thing I really want everybody to remember, you could just go Google Maslow's hierarchy of needs. One of the things that I want everybody to think about is, because of the economy right now and how business has been across the board, the way that's trickled down to everybody who aren't business owners is that people who were previously upper middle class, so upper middle class, are now at the low end of middle class because of how inflation has really shrunk their money. And so people who used to be, maybe 2 years ago, you were selling to people kind of at the 150K and, family money per year, and they were comfortably able to make some investments and things that were nice to haves. Those people are no longer able to do that. So you have to do one of two things. You have to solve a more urgent, threatening need or problem, or you have to up-level your avatar, because everybody kind of dropped down a few notches basically over the last couple of years, no matter how wealthy you are. So that's just something to keep in mind. The second thing that you really want to think about is there any way possible to tie your offer in an honest way? Don't make stuff up. I'm not talking about clickbait or being dishonest, but I am talking about looking at fundamentally what you do. Can you tie it to what we know are basic fundamental needs, things that drive people to buy? So I'm going to go through a couple of them. There's more of these. You can also kind of Google why people buy, buying triggers, things like that. There's many more than this, but these are the ones that I think are the most critical right now. So making more money and getting more time back. You'll never be able to really counteract those two. I don't know why balloons are happening, but it really likes the making more money and more time. See, it's powerful. If you can tie what you do to making more money or having more time, you will always be hitting on critical needs that basically everybody has. Nobody's like, I don't want more money. Nobody is saying, man, I wish I had less time in my life. I just wish that, I had less to do and I wish that I had, less free time. Everybody is looking for those things. Those are the highest kind of motivators for people to buy. If you can show them they'll make money, you can show them they'll get back time. Specifically, the more successful they are, the more they value their time. And so if you can show them a direct impact, a direct ROI on time, that's a game changer. And one clear example I have for this is when we sell coaching versus our done for you agency services, they're both really high impact in terms of financial ROI. But when people look at those two decisions together, one of them requires them to actually invest more of their time because they've got to be on calls, they've got to learn the strategies, they've got to learn the things. Whereas our done for you services, even though they are more expensive monthly, they're not cheap. They're taking something off someone's plate. And so the value intrinsically to a more successful person is that's something I don't have to think about anymore. The value to that person is significantly higher because it's giving them back time. The next thing that I would say is health, wellness, and looking good. And you might not care about helping people look good, but I promise you that is what they care about. There's not a single, you can line up 20 women. They will all say, I want to lose 10 pounds. And they will all have different reasons for wanting to lose 10 pounds. But at the core of all of them, there will be one reason. And it's because they want to look better. Maybe it's for a reunion. Maybe it's for a vacation. Maybe they just used to be in shape and they're not anymore. And they remember fitting into all those clothes that used to look good and they don't anymore. So when you're talking about health and wellness, there's a couple of different things that are critical. If somebody is in the throes of sickness or pain, they will do a lot of things to pay to have that alleviated, right? So that's an important thing. If you have real, with integrity solutions that help people in that capacity, you have to market to that. I have a friend who found out she had Hashimoto's. My friend spent so much money trying to figure out the diet and stress and all of these different things that she really wouldn't have ever spent money on prior to getting that kind of diagnosis. And then as soon as she did, she was dealing with the pain and the stress and all the things that come with that. And she invested in nutritionists and online programs and lab work and functional doctors. I mean, I don't know the total. It has to be tens of thousands of dollars that she spent trying to fix the problem. So if you are someone who has a direct solution to a health-related problem, that's a great thing to reevaluate. But if you're in like the fitness, health, wellness world, people do want to live longer. They do want to be healthier. I promise you, I have invested in programs that give me more energy, that make me stronger. I've read all the books on longevity and mental acuity and all those things and how to stay that way. But I promise you, at my core, I really just want to look good in everything I wear. And all of those things are additional. So just remember that people have a desire to be desirable, and that is a core human need, and you can pretend like you don't want to help people with that. But if you can pair that with the other health related things that you're doing, you'll see a lot more traction from your messaging. Love relationships. People don't want to be alone. They want to be in a happy relationship. If you are someone who has been married for years and your marriage is falling apart, you're very likely to invest in someone who can help repair that marriage. Now, as things shift, marital relationships shift, right? Maybe 5 years ago, finances weren't a problem for couples. Maybe you're a relationship coach and you didn't talk about money a ton because there were other issues people were having. I guarantee more than half of your market has financial issues that are hurting their marriage today. Guarantee it. If you're not bringing that into your messaging, that's a simple thing that's probably changed over the last couple of years that you can bring into your messaging that will help resonate more. Outside of just love relationships and those types of, husbands, wives, things like that, there's kind of a desire to belong. People pay for membership communities because they want to be one of the cool kids. And you can tell me all day long you don't. But I guarantee you have seen a mastermind of someone on Instagram. I guarantee you have been to a business event and there's a group of people who like kind of are like the cool ones. And you think, oh gosh, one day I want to be at that little group with them. One day I want to be having dinner with those people. We all have those desires. And so if you can create in your messaging a sense of, hey, we're going to bring you into this family, again, with integrity, without manipulation, but in an honest way, because that's what your offer does. You're going to touch on things specifically as we become more and more automated and AI is in everything. People crave relationships. One of our companies, it's designed for business owners over 250K in annual revenue. It is simply a membership community. And we have our in-person events every month. And I tell you, the thing that people desire most from that space is just masterminding together. They don't need us to come in and teach everything. They are just desperate to connect with people in their city who get it. They get the struggle, they get the overwhelm, they know what it's like to be in business, and they are there cheering for them. They're there helping them innovate, ideate, helping them actually think through business decisions because they get it. And that sense of belonging is highly, highly marketable, and it will become more marketable as the world continues to veer towards AI, as it continues to veer towards automation and just peoplelessness. People will always crave relationships with people. So we can bring that in. Awesome. Status. Listen, everybody wants status. That's why we buy fancy cars. It's why we buy Louis Vuitton bags instead of Amazon bags. It is why people buy designer clothes with emblems on them. That's the only reason, because that belt ain't any nicer than the other belts. It's just got the logo that shows everybody that you've got some money. People have been making decisions based on status since the beginning of time. So if you have an item that lends itself to that, that is a really important thing to communicate in your messaging. And you can also kind of create like a sense of belonging with that, depending on what your offer is. And so think through different brands where people are really proud to wear it, right? Like when people wear Nike, they're like, they think they're like unleashing their inner Olympian, their inner Simone Biles. Like they're not. They're probably nowhere near any of those athletes on those commercials. But in their hearts, they think, gosh, if I put on this gear, I'm part of this community, part of this movement. And that's, if you can ever tie those things together, people really, really want that. Safety. Safety is always going to be something people seek. It is human nature. We all want to be safe. We all want to be comfortable. So when you have a product or an item that can add safety to someone's life, and there's a lot of ways to do that. There's financial safety, there's physical safety. If you're in any sort of industry where what you do creates more safety for people and you can position your offer that way, you're gonna get a lot more buy-in. And then obviously impact and change. This is much higher up on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. People who are wealthier, who are not in a place of financial instability, they're not in a place of psychological instability. They are generally stable and things are going well. They really truly desire to make a change. They kind of are in a position where they realize, I've done all this stuff, I've been successful, and now I want to make an impact. Certainly people at all levels of the pyramid want to make change. But in terms of someone who's willing to invest in that, in impact, they're going to be at a higher level on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, just because they have been freed up to not worry about some of the lower level things so that they can think about that. Now, most people want to be part of change. Most people want to make an impact, but the people who are willing to invest in financially and time-wise things that will make a change are going to be higher up in that level. But so any of these things, if you can communicate this in your messaging, tie it to critical urgent needs right now, you're going to see way more bang for your buck. So let me know if you get this. Let me know if you're understanding. I want you guys right now to take some action. So number one, I want you to write down an urgent problem you solve for people. Wait, that's not the right one. This is the right one. Sorry, y'all. That was an old slide. Number one, what problem have you been talking about for the last few months or years that hasn't been bringing in the right clients? So all of us have brought in wrong clients, whether it's from our organic posts, it's from our ads that we're running. We've all gotten on calls with people that were like, this is not the person. What has your messaging been? I want everybody to take a minute and I want you to write that down really quick. What has your messaging been? What have you been telling the market you solve? What's the problem you've been telling the market that you solve? Take a minute and write this down. And then number 2, who do you know that is an ideal client? So right now in your life, I want you to think of a real person. It could be a current client. Like when I think of our agency clients, there's probably 4 or 5 that I'm like, they are perfect. Like if I could just make little replicas of them, they're like just perfect. So maybe they're current clients, maybe they're past clients, maybe there's someone you go to church with, or you know from the neighborhood, or somebody you went to college with. Who is a real, actual person that you know that is an ideal client? And what is the specific problem that they have wanted help with? So when I talk to those ideal clients in our agency, they do not come to me. I'm thinking of someone right now. They do not have a lead problem. Man, this person has leads. Actually, I'm thinking of 2 right now. They have leads. Every time we put something out, people opt in. Every time they sell something, people buy. What one of them has is a sales problem. So there's a disconnect. People are coming in and the way that they're being offered the offer is not really like working. It's working-ish, but it's not optimized. The other hadn't really monetized anything. They really didn't put anything together to actually sell it, and they just needed help with that. So those were 2 new problems. I thought, okay, well, how can we help them dial this in so that all the marketing we're doing for them, our marketing is working like insanity. How do we get those people through like some sort of process or funnel so they actually buy? How do I help this person create just an offer that will make them money from this massive following that we're building? Okay, so those are problems that people talk about all the time. I just brought in a new client who she was like, she's got her business is doing really, really well. They're not desperate for leads, but she's like, I just know I could be getting so much more from my social media. It all feels kind of the same. It doesn't feel really dialed in. It doesn't have like a clear message. And I know that we could just be growing so much faster, doing so much more if I just had a strong strategy. And I was like, oh, great, that's what we do. We can do that. We can give you a strong strategy. So what are the things your ideal people are saying? And those are the things I want you to start talking about moving forward. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. I do have a template for everybody, and we are going to go through it based on kind of what I was just talking about. And then there is a day 2. I have more that I'm going to go through on messaging, but I tried to do this in one session last time and it was like way too much. So I learned, y'all. I learned from my mistakes in the past. You should too. So before we dive into that, I want to make a big announcement because I know that this is a massive problem for everybody. This, like I said, I talk to people about their marketing like 20 hours a day, all the time. So the thing that people tell me over and over again is I'm not connecting with the right people. My messaging is falling flat. So what we're going to do for today and tomorrow only, for while I'm teaching this messaging section, I am adding a new bonus. This is a new bonus. If you're already in the virtual business school, you get this bonus if you paid in full. If you didn't pay in full and you want to upgrade, you can, because in September, I believe it's September 18th, the team can drop the exact date. I don't remember exactly when it was, but in September, I'm going to host a live session where I walk you through building out your brand messaging step by step. You'll get to go live with me on the call, ask questions. I'll help you tweak this, tailor this. And this is what I do. This is, if I could tell you one strength that I have other than writing, it is this. So I'm going to be on there, not just walking you through the process of putting your brand messaging guide together, but really picking apart your old messaging versus your new messaging, what needs to shift. And I'm going to be giving you live feedback. So you're not doing this on your own, watching a course, which would be awesome. I mean, either way, that's just super, super, valuable to learn kind of the process, but we're going to be going through it together. So you can ask questions while you're live. You are going to be able to really work through all of the kind of issues that arise when you're putting together your messaging, and you're going to leave with a messaging guide. You're going to leave so that you can either implement yourself if you're the solopreneur in your business, or give to your team, give to your marketing agency, give to the people on your team, whoever's doing your social media, your email. You're going to use this messaging in your live launches. If you're launching, You're going to use it in basically every part of your business. Some of you might go change your website copy. This is going to become kind of like your messaging Bible that you use as you are continuing to kind of shift and evolve with the market. And the cool thing about this and why this is so insanely valuable is because I'm walking you through the process, and you'll get the recording of that. You're going to be able to do this as things change, because y'all, it's going to keep changing. You're going to have to reevaluate over and over again. Not major tweaks, because you want to kind of remain true to who you are, but you are going to have to reevaluate, how am I connecting over and over again. So not only are you getting to do this live with me in that session and leaving with a completed marketing messaging guide that you'll use internally for your company, you are also going to learn the process. So you can do this over and over again, because we're all about teaching you to fish and not just giving you the fish. Most people in the online space create memberships because they want you dependent on them. We want you equipped. We want you to understand why we do the things we do. Yes, we're going to give you templates every single month. Yes, we're going to tell you exactly what we do, our exact processes every single month. But ultimately, why we created the Fast Foundations course that's in the virtual business membership, and why we have our weekly business drops, is because we want you to understand why we do the things you do. The worst thing you could do for your marketing, and listen to me because I see this all the time, this is worth coming to the show for, let me tell you. The worst thing people do in their marketing is they just jump from tactic to tactic, not understanding why the tactic works, so that when that thing stops working, they are lost. They have no clue. So they jump again to the next guru's download for that one magic thing that's going to save them. They never learn the human psychology that drives behavior. And so they never understand why the tactic works. We are going to give you our templates. We are going to give you our processes. We are going to remove every ounce of friction that could be standing in the way of you taking action inside the virtual business school. But we are also going to teach you why they work, so that you start to become the critical thinker who can make these changes in your business on your own. And we'll keep giving you all our best stuff. We are testing everything we teach across 6 companies. We are implementing this in clients' businesses across hundreds of industries. So we have insight into these things in ways that they work in volume. We know what's working, what's not. We will always give you that inside of the virtual business school. But what we really want you to start doing is start thinking the same way we do, so that you can start iterating and optimizing and changing. And for many of you who are very experienced business owners on this call, you are amazing at this, and you are banging your head against the wall because your team can't do this. And you are like, why can nobody on my team think? And trust me, we've all had thoughts like that. But at the end of the day, if you're not giving them the tools and trainings to teach them why we do what we do, and explaining to them the reason we're making the changes, the reason you're using this checklist, the reason you're using this template, then why on earth would they? Like, how on earth would they know that? So at the end of the day, we want to give you the cheat codes that we have tested and tried and proven through our templates, through our master classes, through our business trainings, through Fast Foundations. But we also want you to understand why you do what you do, because at the end of the day, that's going to make you a much more discerning buyer. It's going to make you a much more effective marketer, and it will make you a much better business person. You will be able to make decisions quicker. You will be able to determine the BS quicker. You will be able to save thousands of dollars because you determined the BS quicker, and you will be able to move so much faster. So that was like my disclaimer to everything that we're doing. If you're not in the virtual business school yet, we do have one more template, so stick around. But let me just kind of go over that, because this bonus, this messaging session with me, you're going to build out your brand messaging guide, A to Z. We're walking through a process so you understand the process. You get live feedback from me, and y'all know I'm going to tell it like it is. If I think you're not solving an urgent problem, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to help you reframe it, and I'm going to help you speak to a real problem. You get that live feedback from me on the call. You leave with a brand messaging guide for either you, if you're the solopreneur, or your team, or your marketing agency, or whoever it is. There's no one who doesn't need this. I don't care if your business is $25 million a year. You still need clarity around your brand messaging, because it's what your marketing, your sales, your launches, everything flows from there. So you're leaving with that. You're getting that session. This is only available till tomorrow at 9 p.m. This will disappear. And no, you cannot get it after. No, you cannot buy this. You can't buy access to this. And you cannot do this if you don't pay in full. So a couple of people have asked in the past for some of our other bonuses. If I already did the monthly, but I want to pay in full, can I do that? Absolutely. All you have to do is click the link, pay in full. We'll then cancel the monthly payment. So you'll be good to go. This is $539 for a full year, So what you get inside is a monthly business masterclass, which is basically, we deliver that to you every week, not every week, every month, once a month. You get a business foundations course. It's basically kind of the timeless principles that we know you need mixed in with what's working right now. These are not just random disconnected things. These are things that we're like, okay, this is a critical need for people to do right now. They're all created by 7 to 9 figure business owners. So this isn't just like some Joe off the street that we found to create a class, or some 20-year-old who's never done anything. These are people who've built actual businesses and they're teaching these principles. We drop one once a month. You get a live marketing masterclass with me every month. Sometimes we bring in experts. I'm not an expert in everything, so sometimes we bring in experts on specific strategies and platforms. But that is something you get every month, and you obviously get that recording as well for the following month. You get a live implementation session. So our team will then go live with you. They will give you the template or checklist or whatever it is that we talked about that month. And you'll do some co-working together using our templates and processes. You get one of those every week, every month. And then you get a Q&A session with our team, because as stuff comes up, there are going to be questions that you get over and over again. And so definitely we're there to help you. This is not something you need to be on every month. Maybe you don't have questions that month and you don't come. We're not trying to like fill your calendar with hundreds of calls. We're literally trying to equip you so that you have what you need to take action. Most online courses out there want you to just consume, and keep coming back. That's all they want. We want you to just consume a tiny bit and then go take massive action. So everything we built inside the membership is designed to help you do that. You get them, if you pay in full, you get the messaging master class with me. Again, you cannot buy that anywhere. You cannot get this access to this anywhere else. That is available only till tomorrow at 9 p.m. You also get the live business plan session with Kelly. So Kelly's going to walk you through the one-page business plan. Everybody gets access to that one-page business plan in the membership. So whether you do pay in full or not, you're getting access to the multi-million-dollar one-page business plan, because it's a really core component of building your business. But if you did the pay in full, you get access to a live session with Kelly where she helps you build that out, walk through that, and you can get feedback from her, which is an insane value. Like literally, Kelly sometimes will just say like 2 things and you'll be like, oh my gosh, it changed my entire business trajectory. So that session is for people who pay in full. You also get our sales template bundle. This is worth almost as much as the entire year of the program. You are going to get DM scripts. You're going to get specific calls to action. You're going to get sales email templates. You will pay for a sales email for a launch or for consults or whatever, $400 to $500 for one email from a copywriter. And that's a mid-level copywriter. So this is massively valuable to you. You're getting sales social media post templates that are specifically designed for conversions. There's some invites for workshops in there that you can use and adapt. Like the value of this alone, number one, will save you so much time. Like it will save you so much time. And as a former copywriter, I've read a lot of things that probably should have been written by a copywriter that weren't. And I want to help you by giving you the exact stuff that we've proven and used already, so that you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to a copywriter. You don't have to wait 6 to 8 weeks for that copywriter to do the work. And you can actually just start taking action immediately. So if you pay in full, you get the messaging bonus with me, the business plan class with Kelly, the templates, and you also get our 30-day profit push challenge, which is texted to you every single day. We're going to text you one profit producing activity. The last time we did this, it was a version of this. Somebody took one action and got a 6-figure contract for her business. So truly, like, we're just trying to get rid of all the stuff standing in the way of your results. That's all available to you if you pay in full. If you do a monthly membership, there is no contract. It is $49 a month, $49 a month, y'all. I literally cannot walk into Target for like less than that. I can't go to Publix for less than that, but you can't buy like milk and bread for less than that. So like you can't go to Chick-fil-A, like literally nothing. So $49 a month, no contract. You get access to our Fast Foundations business course, which everybody gets. That's some of what I was talking about before, where we teach you the why behind some of what we're doing, all of the business basics that so many people skip. And team, if you have a team, this is going to fill in so many gaps for your team. If you are frustrated sometimes that your team cannot like move as quickly as you, they're not getting it as efficiently, like you're just like, oh my gosh, I wish my team was more efficient. This is going to fill in so many gaps for them that basically it's kind of like your training system. It's like what they need to thrive in your company and to understand, and it's going to make what you do with them so much more efficient. It's going to help them monetize more easily. It's going to be game changer. So everybody gets access to that foundational course. You get a content masterclass bundle. You get an email marketing masterclass bundle. You get the miracle hour, which is what our companies do every single day to drive organic sales. Like we're literally giving you all of our best stuff. It's so insane. And what I want most of you to think about is it's $539 for a year, If you made $1,000 sale, I forget what it is, like let's say $1,100 sale, you will have 2x the investment. If you made $1,100 in a full year because of what we did, you will have 2x your investment. Maria shared in our group before that she made an $11,000 sale. That is 20x the investment. Show me something that will give you 20x the investment anywhere else. Nothing else. And that's just one sale. She was in there for like 2 weeks when she did that. Maybe even less. I don't know how long she was in here. So listen, we've had people make $1,000 before the end of this workshop. So like literally the stakes are so low. Do you believe that you can make one $539 sale in the next year? If so, then the risk is worth it because you'll get your money back. Do you believe you can make an $1,100 sale in a year? If so, 2xing your investment is massive. Most of you, if you follow this, are going to make so much more. Like the exponential way that you'll see results from this is going to be massive. If you're someone with a team, what if every team member you put in this made 3x, 4x, 5x the investment? I mean, that would be like insanely worth it. So at the end of the day, this is as low risk as we could possibly make this. Like I promise you, we don't know how much less risky we can make this. If you haven't joined us, get in here so you get this bonus with me, the masterclass on messaging, and make sure that you do that before 9 p.m. tomorrow when that disappears. If you want to switch over again, you can do that. Just click the link, do the annual, we'll cancel the monthly. And at the end of the day, I want to see you inside because we want to see you win. Like we want to see as many people as possible when we know that businesses are closing every day and we want to stop that from happening. So we don't want your business to be the next one. We want you to thrive no matter what the economy is doing. If you are here and you want to go through this template with us, let's dive in. And if you just got here, please know we spent 20-something minutes walking through messaging. You're going to want to go back and listen to the replay. I've got part 2 of that because there's more sections that we need to cover on fixing your messaging. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. But I do have a template for you here today. So let's dive in. All right. So here's your template for today. Now there's 2 ways to do this. You might be changing your avatar or you could be changing your service. So my business used to largely help, and you can say your old avatar, or you can say your current avatar, but an old problem, okay? And while we absolutely still help clients in that way, we've shifted focus as we've refined our skills, optimized our results, and listened to the market. Over and over, clients have told us that they are now struggling with, and then you talk about the new problem. Here's why I think that is. So the reason you want to do this is because when you can diagnose why somebody is experiencing a problem, you are far more likely to gain their trust than when you just say, buy my thing after that. So it is so important that you understand that the way you position yourself differently is by diagnosing the problem and being nuanced in your diagnosis. Okay. So here's why I think that is. You're going to give 3 reasons. So we've started to offer a new type of support for whatever the avatar is, who want whatever the outcome is. We help you diagnose. You're going to give a diagnosis, and then you're going to give a solution so you can, and then you give an outcome. If you're interested in learning more about working with us in this new way, I'd love to chat. Book a call through the link below. So I'm going to give you an example of what this looks like. I chose to do this with a different avatar. You don't have to do that. You can do it with the same avatar, different problem, make it work for you, but I'll go ahead and read through this. My business used to largely help coaches and consultants generate leads on social media. And while we absolutely still help our clients that way, we've shifted focus as we have refined our skills, optimized our results, and listened to the market. Over and over, both our ideal prospects and clients have told us that they are struggling to stand out as industry leaders. They are no longer in the stage of business where they're desperate for leads, but they are in a place where they feel like they should be far more well-known as leaders in their industries. Here's why I think that is. The rise of AI has made it so easy for anyone to create content, which means everyone who wants to win needs to be 100% better. Trust is at an all-time low, which means even though they have killer sales teams and great leads, they need far more brand equity than ever before. And then people are craving connection in new ways, which means company brands are no longer enough, which FYI, this is a good little lesson for everybody. So you've started to offer a new type of support for founders of multiple companies who want to truly build personal brands that position them as highly sought after thought leaders in their industry. We help you nail your messaging and positioning. So that's the those blanks at the bottom. You'll see everything in yellow is a blank. We help you nail your messaging and positioning, then create compelling content in your voice so you can become the industry known name you've worked so hard to become. If you're interested in learning more about working with us in this new way, I'd love to chat, book a call through the link below. So I'm going to put this over here for all you guys to work on. And I want everybody to actually take some time and work on this actual prompt. Let's get some of these posts up. If you are not in our virtual business school group, I want you guys to join us and I want you to share. Don't just share the post in the group. I love that you guys do this, but what I want you to do is share the link to the post somewhere else. If you post it on your LinkedIn, if you post it on your Facebook, if you post on your Instagram, share the actual link to the post that we can go comment and engage on it. Because if you just put the post in the actual group, we don't get to like engage anywhere else. So I want you to work on this post. If you are live with us on Zoom, we will email this out like we have every day. We have another one coming tomorrow and we'll email that one out too. If you are on Facebook, remember, we don't know you're there unless you leave your email address. So you've got to comment on Facebook. You've got to comment on the thread, drop your email address or else we won't know where to send these templates. We can't see who's watching over there. So we need you to go ahead and do that. We will email this template out to you. Thank you so much for joining us live. We love having you here. But I want everybody to keep working on this. As you're working on this, when it's posted, share the actual link in the Facebook group, in the Virtual Business School Facebook group. If you are someone who has not yet joined us in the Virtual Business School, I think the templates that we've shared over the last couple of days are killer, but what we have inside is so much more. Like, it's awesome. Like, our template bundle is like this on steroids. Like, it's insane. It's so much more value. So if you love this, if this has been helpful to you, you can get more. Tomorrow is our last day live. It's our last day live. So we're going to have another template tomorrow. I'm going to go through this second part of how to fix your messaging, which is going to look at your language and things like that. I'm going to give you specific questions to ask in your market research. So it's really, really important that you join us for that tomorrow. If you've got friends who struggle with messaging, let them know. We're going to get really practical there. But you get all of that inside the Virtual Business School. I did a whole session on market research in the Virtual Business School. You could actually go through it today. You get way more templates than this, tons of stuff like this. You get all of the master classes monthly. So like, there's so much more. If you love this, if this has been helpful, if this has helped you to think differently about how you create content, emails, text messages, how you do outreach, if you have ever felt stuck in creating things, this is such a simple way to remove that friction. So you can just sit down, fill in your blanks, and post or send the email or send the DM or send the text. Our goal is that you would not sit in front of videos and watch them all day long. It would be that you go make sales. And so we want to give you the things that will help you make those sales so that you can actually take action. So we will email this out to you guys. Again, if you're on Facebook, please drop your email address so we know where to email it, or else we can't send it to you. Everyone on Zoom, we've got you. You don't need to drop your email address. We will send this out. Please make sure to join us back here tomorrow, where I will be going through the second part of this, which is how to fix your messaging. We're going to dive into client language and some things that people make mistakes on constantly. Like, I see it every day and it kills me. I just want to be like, hey, you should not do this anymore. I'd love to see some of you guys in that messaging masterclass in September with me. Again, it's a live session where we are building out your brand messaging guide. I am giving you direct feedback on your business, your positioning, your angles, your language. I do not sell this in a group strategy. Like, you would have to pay basically a VIP day, thousands of dollars for this. For us to build it out for you, because we don't sell it in this capacity anywhere else. So if you want in on that, you've got to get in by tomorrow at 9 p.m. The date, I want to say it's like September 18th. I can look at that real quick. Oh, September 18th. There you go. So you've got plenty of time to get ready, get that on the calendar, be live with us. You will leave that session with like a brand messaging guide to give your team, to implement, to give your agency, to give whoever's on your marketing staff. And you also get the live sessions with Kelly. You get the sales template bundle, which is like outrageous if you do the painful. And if you're not there yet, no worries. Just get in here. $49. Like, it's nuts. And you can cancel anytime. So like, really, these templates alone have been worth a $49 investment. You're gonna get way more than that inside the Virtual Business School. Take the chance. I fully believe every single one of you on here can probably pull off $1,000 sale in a year, which would make the entire investment 2x ROI. I think most of you can pull off way more than that. I think you're going to get 20, 30, 40, 50x if you put in the work consistently over time. Again, it's up to you. You got to do the things, but we're going to give you every tool that we have to make that possible, because there's a lot of crap out there. There's a lot of people selling you stuff you don't need. You're wasting time on things that aren't moving the needle. And we want to just help you get stuff off your plate so that you can go live your life, enjoy your life, but still be making money. And so we're giving you all our best stuff. We would love to see you inside. If you are not already a member, now's the time to join us. Come back tomorrow at 12 p.m. where I'll be back here for part 2 of how to fix your messaging. I'm going to have a checklist for you, not a checklist, like a list of questions for market research, and maybe an extra template for you guys, because it's our last day. So don't miss it. It's going to be really, really helpful if you've ever felt like your messaging wasn't connecting with the right people. But I really hope to see most of you inside the Virtual Business School on my next marketing masterclass, because I think that will be way more fun. So see you guys back here tomorrow. Get in here if you're not already here. Make sure to drop a link to your actual post on whatever platform you post on in the Virtual Business School group. We really want to give your post some love. It's really never any fun when you're posting and nobody's engaging on it. So like, drop your links in there so we can give you some support and some love. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'll see you back here for part 2 of how to fix your messaging tomorrow. And I cannot wait to see you guys inside and on that messaging masterclass with me. Bye, everyone.